Ladies and gentlemen, we are live. PSR is excited to present to you Last Call, featuring your boy, the Pimp Slap POD, Mike L.
Pimpin' ain't easy, but it's fun like money. Got bookies on the run, now it's time to get money. Not your typical way to ball. It's last call like some convicts waiting on the next draw. You can feel the tension. Did I mention? Fools better pay attention, cause we getting paid like a pension. T's on the ones and twos, we not the ones that lose. Mike, money's killers, Mike even make the even news.
And now, let's get to the picks.
We be pumping! Buzz Force Radio, you know we be pumping!
What up? What up? Welcome on in. It's Last Call, and I'm having technical difficulties. Let's get a Monday going the right way. Why not? Why don't we? Appreciate everybody dropping in here. I have no sound. So, let's get the show going just like that. Bear with me for a moment as I try to figure this out. Why don't I have any sound? Come on now. Let's see if that does any better. I don't know if it's going to.
We can definitely test it out right now, Mikey.
I do not hear you. Thank you. Thank you for
jumping we'll see. This is a great test of the of your lovely
if
speakers.
I can make a small adjustment.
Yeah, it's nice to see everyone in the chat as always.
Indeed. How's that, Jose?
Yeah, well,
Nothing?
we can hear you for sure, Mikey. We can tell you that. But there he goes. There goes Mikey Money off into the wilderness. It's nice to see everyone in the chat. He can't hear us, but we can hear him. And now he has muted himself. So I can't wait to see what unfolds of all this. Shout out to everyone in here bright and early. Our guy, Joseph Thompson, of course, saying what's up. Nice to see everyone here. Brent Cook, Brian Watson in here. Juggler 23, a good stat here. Game 4 home dogs of 3.5 points or more are just 10-26 straight up. And 13-22-1 against the spread. Mikey, we can't hear you now over there. You're muted on StreamYard if you can hear us. But we'll keep going here. And double digits home dogs are 2-18-21. Or sorry, 2-18-1 in their last 21. Excuse me there. Very interesting. Sancho on Diamondbacks money line, Cubs money line, Twins run line. All those things there as well. Nuggets minus 6.5. I hope to God the Nuggets end up winning. We'll see. Mikey. Are you alive, Mikey? Earthed. He looks really well shaven, too. Yeah, he looks nice. He's got his Spurs shirt on. But unfortunately, he's muted. And there he goes. Well, it's nice to see everyone in the chat. We might as well get into some baseball while we're here. We'll start off Mikey's program without him. It's no worries because I'm just here. And yeah, Tigre, I enjoyed that he just was talking that whole time to who knows, just talking to himself. But shout out to Mikey Money for being in here, and he'll be here and he'll be back in here in just a moment, as I'm trying to say here. JPZ, Trisha, thank you. Chris Boggin, Coin. Subhuman. Oh, and Mikey unmuted now, and I think you can hear us.
Oh man, you sounded so much better about 3 minutes ago. What the hell happened?
I don't know. Somehow your mic got muted, and then we just watched you talk to yourself for like 20 minutes there. It was quite fun.
Well, the show's over. That does it. Thanks for everybody for watching. Hopefully you got those picks.
There it is. That's it.
No, I think we had a little issue with the sound coming out of this thing, but it's StreamYard acting up, trying to hold us down. They can't keep us back. Let's go. Let's get after it, though. Appreciate you guys being patient. And, of course, Jose holding it down while we get it all right and figured out there, you guys. Happy Monday. Let's have a big week this week. We got a new week. We got new money. And, look, first of the month, the rent's going to be due somewhere. You're going to have bills to pay. Not a better place than here to get that cash stacked up. Let's give you guys the shout out up and down the chat and jump into this thing. I know we've got a loaded baseball clip here between Jose and I. starting off. Then we're going to move into the National Hockey League. 2 games tonight, and we've got ourselves a potential closeout between the Florida Panthers and the Tampa Bay Lightning, and, of course, Dallas and Vegas. I cannot believe it. Dallas snuck one of those 2 games out there in Vegas. Now they're in that second spot, trying not to go down 3-1 in this series out there. So that'll be a lot of fun to talk about. And, of course, the NBA. Did us all right schedule-wise. The NBA first game pops off at 7:30. We got 3 of them on deck. We'll talk about all 3 of those as well. And you guys know the deal. We try to give you unique analysis, trends, line movement, everything you're going to need to get to the window and cash more winning tickets. Of course, Mondays mean we get our guy Jose Bouquet up in here. And he has been on a heater, this guy here. Just a smidge. We'll bring smidge back again, a smidge below 20 units. I saw his record. He's kicking ass. He's taking names. I was excited to see a lot of synchronization here between myself and Jose. That might be the first time I've ever said that, but we will bring him on shortly, guys. Let's get into it. Let's see what's doing in the chat. You know the deal. Smash the thumbs up button for us. Show support. Help us build the brand, and let them know where you guys are spending your time here, getting your last-minute information to cash those winning tickets. Grab a pen and paper. You're going to want to write it all down. Myself, Jose, T, the Chad, of course, super sharp every day, bringing in bangers. And, our guy, our first comment in the chat is no surprise. I was talking about it over the weekend. Joe T coming in there, dropping it on there with his first period's over. And, of course, you guys make sure, like our guy Joe T and everybody else does up and down the line, share your plays in the chat. Let's see exactly how you guys are getting paid. I got to move quickly to catch up from this little gap or little failed takeoff here. The plane's finally in the air, but we got to get there. So let's go here. NHL best bets for Joe T. Panthers and Lightning first period over 1.5. Vegas Stars first period over 1.5. And his best bet is the Twins and the White Sox over 7.5. We will be attacking that game. Excited to talk about that spot. Thank you for sharing, Joe T. Brian Watson in the house. Brent Cook, and there's Juggler 23, giving us the wise guy information out there. NBA trend of the day says Game 4 home dogs 3.5 points or more are just 10-26 straight up, 13-22 against the spread, and I believe that applies to. Is that both games? I believe that's both games here. The Miami Heat, a big 10.5 point dog out there, and the New Orleans Pelicanos, a 4.5 point dog, maybe 5, depending on where you're looking. And he says double-digit home dogs, 2-18-1 in their last 21. Appreciate you sharing, Juggler 23. Sancho says the Diamondbacks money line, the Cubs money line, the Twins run line, the Nuggets -6.5, Vegas money line, and the Panthers under 6.5. He's got OKC -4.5 in there as well. Sancho, my guy, thank you for sharing. Panger Life in the house, says the pimp. What up, Panger Life? Happy Monday, my guy. Subhuman Gaucho here. We got the hockey play of the day by our guy, Subhuman Gaucho. Kachuk to score 2+ points, +190 for our guy, Subhuman Gaucho. Sharing his best hockey looks out there. You'll see his record, 20-14-1, +18.58 units from our guy, Subhuman Gaucho. Futon Bets says OKC moneyline. What's up, buddy? What's up, Futon Bets? It's great to see you. Excited to talk about that OKC game. Subhuman says also like Eichel, 2+ points, +260. A bit of a smaller wager there for our guy, Subhuman Gaucho, telling me you can hear me fine. Yeah, I just couldn't hear anybody. Couldn't hear anything. I don't know what was going on there. Coin says, what up, Mikey in chat? Let's have a Monday. Got some Washington moneyline +120 in his pocket on the diamond from our guy Coin. And Chris Bogan in the house. What up, Chris? Let's get after it, you guys. We got a lot of work to do. Michael Lester, Trisha M, JPZ out there. And, of course, my guy T. Let him know I may have technical difficulties, but it shouldn't stop you from smashing the like button out there. Help us build the brand. Subhuman says, took 12 shot on goal unders in the Preds-Nucks game yesterday. Went 9-3. That's an interesting little spot there, Subhuman Gaucho. I like that. I like that creativity, thinking about the unders. And I took a couple unders today myself in the NBA. Normally I'm on the overs, but, hey, we are where we are. Let's get it going and see what we can do with this card tonight here. Chris Bogan says he's been hitting the sauce a lot lately. I don't think I've been hitting. I don't know if you're talking about me, but I feel like I'll just say I haven't been hitting the sauce any harder than I normally have. There's quite a bit of playoff hockey going. I'm not stopping us from cashing. Man, I did get after it this weekend, though. But what else is new? That's what I do on the weekends. And anytime we're live streaming, you guys can catch me having a cocktail, seeing what we're doing, making that cash. Voodoo Ranger 95 says, Sanchez win plus 125 out there. Jay Peasy says, my new name's Mikey Cab. And Eric Ross says, Alonso home run, let's go. We'll be talking about the ribeye play of the day. I gave that out earlier today with the boys over at the session. Of course, Miss Folish Hound herself joining the cast and crew out there. We had some fun today. Winner Circle says CJ McCollum over 19.5 points. LBJ, 25.6 rebounds, 6 assists. That's a specific line. 25, 6, and 6. But okay, I'm assuming you mean overs in those spots. But good stuff. Winner Circle, always appreciate you coming in, Sharon. Justin McCalvey, Stacks POD's got Gary over 1.5 bases plus 104. Unfortunately, he let me down on Saturday. Hate to go put it out there on X and then look like an ass. I hate to bet it and lose, but to give it to everybody and take the L is no bueno. Chris Salzer says Seattle plus 135. Trisha M's on the Panthers. Eric Rojas says Twin Bats are live. Also, Sox have been getting better. I love the over 2. Brian Watson says, are the Leafs done? Old E, Philly Eagle Flyer. Brian Watson says, Vancouver, what a comeback. Yeah, that one hurt me. I was definitely on Nashville in that one. Full disclosure. That one hurt. But let's get into it, you guys. Let's get after it and see what we can do here. We got a recap here. We'll start with Friday. We'll move quickly. We'll bring on our guy, Jose Bouquet. I see him waiting in the wings, ready to attack. And we've got about 15 minutes till we get these baseball games, 17 minutes till the first baseball game pops off. So let's go. Friday was a 5-6 day. Kind of middling, we kind of fell back in. We started off so damn hot last week, and then we just kind of fell into the game of the middles out there. We lost the Mets, and we lost the Toronto under 9. We did win the Nationals. Again, the Nationals dog spot in the series. Picked up a nice W there. We got the Seattle Mariners. We lost the Phillies under 7.5, and the Caps. We took a swing for the Caps. I'll tell you, I read the Nationals series wrong. I thought, especially with the third goaltender situation, I don't want to count them out just yet, but it doesn't look good. Certainly 3-1. I was saying last night, I left a friend's house, 5 minutes to go in the game. They're up 3-1. Think I got it in the bag. I come home and it's 3-3 and they end up losing in overtime. I couldn't believe myself out there. But we took Colorado in the over 6.5. We cashed that spot nicely. Was it 5-2 final? 6-2 final, I believe, was the final out there. And the gift. I told you guys I was going heavier on it. Hopefully you did as well. The Edmonton Oilers losing that game to the Kings just to come out there and give us a nice minus 140. Edmonton Oilers. We won the Dallas minus 4.5. And then we lost the head-to-head spot with my late ad there, my last ad against CMAC with the Suns minus 5.5. Now, I was able to make it up last night there. We had a little live stream and gave out the minus 5.5 the other way. We gave the extended line out there, nice plus 180. Man, we had a lot of plus money cashers last night. But that's why you got to follow me on X. When we go live, I will make sure to tweet that kind of stuff out to you guys. Let's get to work today. Enough of yesterday. Let's move forward and talk about how our strategy looks to attack these books. And let's bring on our first guest here. He's the star here on Monday. Say hey plays all over Pub Sports Radio. Out there kicking butt, taking names in Major League Baseball. Please welcome Jose Four Fingers Bouquet. What's up, Jose?
Mikey, it's my first time on the program, obviously. It's nice to see you. It's been a great start to the program, flawless. And this is been a pretty flawless start of the baseball season for myself. I'm not going to lie.
Well, you have been having one heck of a start this season. It's exciting to see. I love to see the check marks and not the red X's. Red X's this isn't the red X business. This is the green check mark business, and you are certainly stacking them up. So how you feeling about the season thus far and the card that you have in front of you tonight?
Yeah, it's been great. I'm up 18 units. I can't really complain at that. Last year I was down 30 at this point. So I'm very pleased at how I've been doing. Now I've been doing so well, Mikey, that I've actually hired one of my friends to calculate ROI on my spreadsheet for my baseball picks. I'm proud enough to share my spreadsheet with strangers. That's how well I'm doing. Can you do this for me? Normally, that's my eyes only. But yeah, no, that's how proud I am. It's been nice. Today we have a few bets, and one that I've gone to the well with twice, and I'm going to go back for a third time, just because I don't understand these lines sometimes. It's been hilarious, but I'm excited to talk about it, Mikey. Loaded
Well,
card.
It's funny because I got your text this morning about the plays that you were locking and loaded on, and I said, "Boy, you're up early." Doesn't that little winning makes you want to get out of bed, right? You want to keep winning. You want to taste that victory sauce out of the shallot there and go enjoy yourself and have a nice start to the day. Isn't it fun?
Yeah. Last year was more like I was scared to bet. Now this year is like, yes, I get to bet. But it's nice. It's nice. So I just, we're going to keep rolling because once upon a time, my first year gambling, I was up 30 units for the whole year and then fucking fumbled it all in the last 2 weeks and then finished down 5 units for the year. So let's marathon, not a sprint. I'm going to keep myself on the floor. But I am sucking my own dick a little bit. Yeah.
Well, Jose, I will tell you this. I used to hate hearing it, but I had a boss. He used to tell me it's a marathon and a sprint. So it's a marathon and a sprint. And I remember I looked back at him and I was like, well, that's the dumbest thing I've ever heard. It's a sprint or a marathon. But anyhow, let's get going. I'm excited to hear the card. Let's have Kelly V's comments here segue us into this baseball card tonight. She says, hey, Philly score a run first inning plus 160. Philly hot, winning 11 of their last 13. The Angels 2-11, and Rodon is hurt, out on IR. Philly -1, which is going to be a game that I believe we'll see. We will see if it is in fact that. What's up, Kelsey? Darius Moore. Fernando Mendoza says cashed at Barcelona -1. And I saw that. I was tailing that one, my guy, Fernando Mendoza. Nothing wrong with a little afternoon soccer action. Jason Mayer says, any thoughts on Oakland, Pittsburgh? Great news. Our guy, Jose Bouquet, is going to regale us with his strategic analysis of that Pittsburgh-Oakland game. But 6:35 is just about 20 minutes to pop off. First pitch here, the New York Yankees. Battle of the AL East, the Baltimore Orioles. Both teams playing pretty solid baseball here. Thus far in the season, we've got ourselves a road dog in the New York Yankees. Opened up at plus 116. Has moved to plus 110. Only 33% of the bets on the Yankees, but 68% of the cash on them Yankees. You guys new here. This is what we do here. We talk about bets. We talk about money. Then we look for the reaction from the markets. And that's the piece that most people have kind of off. They kind of argue the data. Where's the data? Not arguing the data. We see there's 33,000 tickets. We know the bets constitute parlays, teasers, $5 bettors, 18 leggers, all that stuff. It's kind of the soup, player props. 33% of the bets are in on the Yankees. Then we look at the money. We see that the books, they kind of fear the bigger bettors, the sharper bettors, the guys that are coming in there trying to drop 10 dimes on a game. And then they look at that and we put all those together and say, now what do the books do? Do they care more about the public or the sharps? In this case here, public can win too. We've had that debate umpteen times, Jose. But in this case here, the sharper bettors are on that New York Yankees, have moved it to plus 110. The books have shown 6 cents of concern. And we have a total with 82% of the bets on the over, 80% of the cash on the over. Bust it down for us. We got G-Rod and Clark Schmidt, Jose Bouquet. Lay it down for us.
I mean, this is the Yankees. I mean, no, this is more of me season long or preseason, I guess, saying that I think the Yankees win this division. I think the Yankees are going to be very good this year, and I've said that for the whole year. And this is the first opportunity where I can kind of put my money where my mouth is when it comes to Orioles versus Yankees. Clark Schmidt, a guy that old Jimmy the Bag put me on. Grayson Rodriguez has kind of been up and down this year, more down than up, it seems. But I'll gladly take the chance against some Yankees at plus money. This line opened up earlier today let me actually give a refresh just to make sure, give everyone the full credits here. Opened up at minus 130 for the Orioles there. Sharp money on the Yankees, it seems, and the line has moved towards Los Yankees here. So first time where I can do it, I'll just bet the Yankees against the Orioles, and let's see how it goes.
Well, the Yankees are 14-0. when they're not a dog of more than a plus 110 and they're coming off a 9 or greater run win spot out there. And kind of makes sense that the public's kind of banging away on this Baltimore team. I mean, everybody knows Baltimore probably made a bunch of cash last year on them. Starting off this season, they've been big favorites. They've been out there kind of dominating shop, but 17-10. Here we go with the New York Yankees at 19-10. Jose, I'm with you. If this is a trap line, I'm in. I'm in the trap then, man. I don't care. Put me in there. Check me down on it. It's a great opportunity here. I'm not entirely enamored with Rodriguez. His 4.45 ERA, he's been able to skate through some spots out there simply because the Baltimore Orioles have been making solid baseball contact and finding a way to get those runs. No doubt about it, but we do see that Oakland series, maybe a little bit of that early season fatigue. It's hard to start out kicking ass and taking names and maintain that pace. And we saw that they went 1-2 against the Oakland A's. Kind of a big red flag for me in that spot here. Momentum is a huge thing in these games, Jose. I'm with you. I'm going New York Yankees. Let's see if we can't synchronize and cash on these books.
Yep. By the way, shout out to Troy Torrance, who taught me how to calculate ROI today. I didn't know how to do that because I'm not a math guy, obviously. And so I calculated my ROI for the first time. And I was like, wow, thank you. And that is what led me to hire my friend to now do that for my spreadsheet, because I'm not going to do that by hand every time, obviously. But 9%, not bad. We'll take it.
What is the game plan when it comes to using a spreadsheet that has algorithms built into it? Have you ever considered just have the code built into the spreadsheet and then it'll automatically calculate that for you?
Well, that's what I'm getting my friend to do now. I just found, obviously, I'm a lazy bum, Mike, so I just found a nice template that was simple and easy, and I just used that forever. And this is the first year that I've learned how to kind of edit a little bit. So now I can categorize my bets during the year, and I don't have to do it by hand. That's nice. And now the ROI thing is coming, hopefully, the next few days. I paid my friend $5 whole American dollars to do it. So, yeah, we're talking big bucks here. Yeah, he's a spreadsheet whore. So he's doing it for pleasure, obviously.
Well, I would imagine with the generous $5 dono there.
Hey. He's getting paid. I told him I was hiring him. So, and speaking of my friends, Mike, you want a little bonus bet here?
Yeah, let's go.
Our actually mutual friend Matthew told me this morning. I think he said at like 8 a.m. he texted our gambling group chat and said, "Jovic over rebounds." But bet of the year is what he said. Actually, 5.5. I took it. And I told him that I was going to tell you about it as well here. So there's the Matthew play of the day. Jovic on the Heat over 5.5 rebounds.
All right. I will write that down. I have written that down, Jose. I will take an eye on that. Yeah. I've been trying to play a little bit more with the props here because, sometimes these games are a little tight, especially in the playoffs. They the bench players getting some opportunities and blowout opportunities there. So it seems like maybe player props are the way to attack this next couple of rounds. But I've got it written down. The Matthew play of the day, the debut of the Matthew play of the day.
Yeah, you kind of have to bet it on Pristable, honestly, Mike. You kind of have to.
I get that way. It gives. You can't curse somebody out if the play loses if you don't play it. It doesn't work like that.
I'll give you his number too, so you can text him and curse him out. It could just be a random number. You get it, and then it'll be great. So it'll be awesome.
I have been trying to find, information on the Coastal Carolina women's college softball team too. Speaking of Matthew, but I can't seem to make headway into what's going on in that league. So I'll have to take that. We'll take that offline, Jose. 6:40 p.m. 15 minutes till this next game. We had the AL East battle. Now we've got the NL East battle here. The Washington Nationals, the Miami Marlins. And again, a situation with the road dog plus 134 has dropped to plus 122. 25% of the bets and 73% of the cash on the Nats here. The road dog catching this is almost identical line functionality to what just happened in that Yankees game. Very interesting here. The total, however, is moving on up. 8s to 8.5s, 80% of the bets and 77% of the cash on the over. That's where the books are saying, wait a minute, we might see some runs here. And it's interesting. Speaking of, buddies and getting shit talked or shit talking them. We were on the Nationals, a buddy of mine and I, yesterday, and up 7-0. I mean, first of all, you want to talk about PD panic. You would have thought the sky fully fell at that point there.
I was not pleased.
I heard so much shit about that 7-0 start. I didn't even want to look at the live bet. I was like, I don't even want to talk about this game anymore. We started watching some NBA and some NHL, and lo and behold, they come back and they smash them. Nationals beat up them Marlins, and the Marlins are just in a bad state. Yeah. I don't know about this one, Jose. This one is a challenge. You got Rogers, but I do believe the best of the pitching staff on the bump here in Irvin. Kind of a weird situational spot when it comes to the rotation for our Jake Irvin here. 4.55 ERA, 1-2 on the season, but Trevor Rogers, Miami Marlins. How about the Marlins as a favorite? They just don't win. They're 0-10, I believe, at home now is the number as a favorite. Jose, 6:40 p.m., the Washington Nationals, the Miami Marlins, the NL East battle. We see the plays on the screen. How's this one going to game script for us? Play it down. Break it down for us.
Yeah, for sure. First of all, shout out to Trisha, who's also a freak in the sheets, the Excel sheets. So shout out to Trisha in the chat. Next time I need an Excel thing for you for my database purposes, Trisha, I'll come to you. Thank you very much. First of all, why are the Nationals favorite? Or not favorite, excuse me. Why are the underdogs? Why are the Marlins favorite? This is crazy to me. I said it 2 days ago. We bet the Nationals. I said it yesterday. We bet the Nationals. Now, I was right there with you, shitting my pants a little bit. I was pissed off because I was like, the Marlins are the worst against lefties. Why should I not fade him? And then it was like, even though it's Corbin sucks, blah, blah, blah. And we bet him. And we eventually take out the winning. And I was right there with you. I didn't even check the live line down 7-0 because I was too annoyed at myself. I was like, God damn it. I fell for this Corbin bullshit. But I'm just going to keep betting the Nationals here as underdogs against the Marlins because the Marlins are horrible. They're just bad. And I'm getting one of my guys on the mound with Jake Irvin, too. I mean, I have a couple of my guys on the mound today. I'm not backing Luis Severino. The market's saying it's not his day today, unfortunately. But Jake Irvin's one of my guys that I've said for the whole season. I think he's good. And he, like you said, he's sneaky one of the better pitchers on this staff. And it has freaking Mackenzie Gore on it and RIP Josiah Gray, wherever he is now. But, yeah, Nationals full game money line for me. Again, I'll keep betting them until they're not dogs against the Marlins here. A 4-game mop, I think this would be for them as well.
Whew. Yeah, so, shout out to the chat, of course. Our guy Fernando Mendoza gave us them soccer winners earlier today. However, he says so many people on the Nationals. And here's the thing about these analytics, right? We have 20,000 tickets in the sample. 75% of the public money here, 75% of the bets are on the Marlins. So the fact that, you're hearing National, I know Jimmy talks about this a lot with his show as well and betting with the bag. I know Jose will be getting in there tomorrow with Pete, Loshak, and the gang, 11 a.m. Eastern. How about that, Jose? A little impromptu plug in the business.
Thank you. To
make things happen.
And you know what's going to be even better about that show? That show is also going to be featuring a shitload of people coming in and out of my apartment because there's a hole in my apartment. So it's great. With now I have a very moldy laundry room, and it's going to be great. So they're basically going to take down the whole laundry room tomorrow, and I can't wait for what noises will be heard tomorrow.
That sounds loud. That sounds like
yes.
you're going to need that.
And Mikey, even better, there's a raccoon that made those holes, apparently living in my ceiling and my upstore neighbor's floor. So that's also very interesting. Very interesting.
Wonderful.
Yes.
Well, and so the point that I was making there with Jimmy's comments is, just because this community kind of speaks to that quite a bit doesn't necessarily mean that that's the overall situation. And 75%, now 74% of the bets on the Marlins. Yeah, there's a lot of conversation internally here, but it's because we've all been educated in school to kind of look at these things in a similar fashion. So when, you see our guys like Troy T in there talking about plus money spots and where the value lies there, especially when you keep cashing on it. So it's the perception versus reality, I think. The perception kind of can play tricks on you. The reality is a lot of bettors hitting them Marlins figuring, these Nationals stink. And, I think yesterday was really just an anomaly because of Patrick Corbin. But not going to die on the hill. It's just a bet for me. It's a bet like any other there. I put a unit down on that thing, and we move on and keep moving forward, Jose Bouquet. But I like the card there. A couple of 640 spots there to get us off.
It's funny, and we're both on the same sides, too. I didn't know that we were both on the same sides there as well, which is very funny.
Well, it happens again later in the card as well.
Oh.
So, speaking of everybody kind of looking at things in a similar fashion here, sadly, it looks like this Detroit game has been postponed. The Detroit Cardinals spot, to me,
out of there,
was a waste of a cap this afternoon. That was probably 30 minutes of crucial time I could have used to take a nap after a long weekend of cocktailing, as everybody has so excessively pointed out there in our chat. But next game on the docket is the Minnesota Twins and the Chicago White Sox. Now, talk about a White Sox spot, man. Last weekend, cashing, baby. First halves, full games. White Sox City, and then we've got this Minnesota Twins now going on the road to said White Sox. 97% of the bets and 97% of the cash on the Minnesota Twins. Now, that is everybody on the Twins, but we gauge the reaction. The books have moved it from minus 154 to minus 160. And then as far as the total is concerned, 7.5s are where it opened. 89% of the bets, 88% of the cash on the over. Yet the line hasn't moved. If anything, it's juicing to the under in that spot there. We've got Crochet and Ryan. These guys just saw each other last week, Jose. So I'm very excited to share with you guys how I'm attacking this one. To me, it's a plus money opportunity. Yeah, they just played each other. You know, we've talked about that dreaded 7.5s with the 3.5s out there. And, you know, they got bit. They got bit by the overbug here. But I think this is going to be a little bit of the flip-flop or the zigzag theory here. You know, Crochet got touched up a little bit early, as did Ryan. These guys are going back at it again. And I think that the familiarity brings advantage to these young starter in Crochet. And not going to go with the White Sox in this one, but what I have cashed on all weekend long, I think for the last full week here, even the Phillies series, is the unders in White Sox games. The only other series that seems to get more unders is Minnesota. There's a lot of injuries in the bats. There's a lot of concern or fragments in terms of continuity across the lineup. We still know Lubov is out. Mancada's out there. The White Sox are starting to get healthier, but DeSclafani, Royce Lewis out on the Twin side of things as well. I parlayed the two together. And I got it up a run because I didn't want to fuck around with that 7.5 like we've seen kind of get bitten in the past. It is plus 170, the Minnesota Twins, and the under 8.5 over on DraftKings. It's the plus money shot there. We got to take a crack at something like this here. We take a healthy favorite in the Minnesota Twins, and we know the White Sox maybe not quite ready to go out there and accept the World Series crown just yet. They are struggling in their own right. Coming off
whoa, win streak, Mikey. They're hot right now.
They got themselves a 3-packer. They got a 3-packer out there. 4-2, 8-7, 9-4. But that's Tampa Bay. You want to talk about the AL East and the teams that can win or lose in the conference there. Tampa Bay is in trouble. I know it's early, but maybe we start to chance Tampa Bay is not going to make the playoffs. Maybe we start.
No, they're fucking done. They're the last place team in the AL East. They suck dick. No, I'll say that. I'll say that confidently.
Well, I moved on it. I've got the Twins in the under 8.5 plus 170. A little disappointed that Tigers game kind of didn't go off for us there.
What was your bet in that one?
I was going to look to the under. I was on the under 8.5, I believe was the number. And then I kind of wanted to take Detroit as well. I thought St. Louis kind of playing outside of their shoes, if you will, from that recent series there. They certainly can hit, but a lot of the prop bets for me showed that game was going to go on the under. A lot of heavily juiced or heavily dog spots for all the hitting props, like all the unders. Speaking of unders and player props, were juiced. So I thought the under was going to be a free money in that. Maybe it was. Maybe that's why the Mother Nature came in and canceled the game on us.
No, okay, fair enough. Well, I'll keep that in mind for tomorrow because we have a doubleheader now for tomorrow, obviously.
That screws up the dynamic for me with a doubleheader because I just don't want to get. I don't like to get involved in doubleheaders at all. I think there's so many, and it just, we talk about. I know Dabby talked about it the other day. It just messes up the rotation, the start. Like these guys had to be sitting. They weren't just sitting at home waiting to see whether the weatherman was going to call the game or not. They went through all the show up to the bullpen, deal with kissing the girl goodbye, kick the dog on your way out the door. And then you, you show up and, and you're sitting in the clubhouse playing PlayStation for 3 hours while you're eating a bowl of cereal. Like, it's disrupted.
Sounds like a great
routine.
time.
Disrupted routine.
I tend to think they just split. So I whenever I bet it, if I think one team's gonna split the series, I wait for the second game. It's just one of those bullshits. But yeah, no action for me though on this one, so we can keep it pushing.
All right, Troy Torrance says, hell yeah, Mike M, I'm right there with you. Justin McCalvey says the Rays are cheeks. By the way, Troy, when you and I do align, we make some magic happen, my guy. So I'm happy to hear that. Kelsey says there's a lot of juicy talk here. Kelly V says Tampa Bay bad. ATS 8-19 on the run line. Tampa Bay strikes out a lot. And Josh Lower 34 says Sabalenka was left for dead in second set, has won in 3 sets plus money. Phil the Kill, $5 tip. He would have done it for free. I think he's talking about your spreadsheet capabilities now. You're expanding.
Fuck.
You're
I'm expanding my client base for the spreadsheet madness here. By the way, Mikey, Kelsey's even asking when does she get her show? So, Mikey, I'll do the open invite to Kelsey to come on. I want to cap with Kelsey on screen, obviously. So good luck, Kelsey. I hope you do get that show.
Reach out. We are always willing to engage and bring on our chat. Love you guys. You're sharp as attack. Let's attack this board here as we move out to the West Coast, Jose. We've got ourselves a couple of battles in store, and let me just make sure I'm familiar with what that next game is. Of course, the LA Dodgers. The LA struggling right now Dodgers, who just handled them Toronto Blue Jays. Talk about low-priced opportunities and taking advantage out there. Then you've got the Arizona Diamondbacks hosting them, boys. We got a line with 84% of the bets and 97% of the cash. Here's why we do the analysis. Everybody loves the LA Dodgers, but the line has gone from minus 140 to minus 130. Jose,
look at us again. Man, it's funny to see us again. Look at us again. It's lined up again. Look at us.
We have a line in this one. I talked a little bit about this last night. Just the sheer physics, or maybe physics isn't the right term, but look. The travel, there can't be a further place I think Toronto to Arizona has got to be further than Miami Marlins to Seattle Mariners. It's got to be further. Just seems like when I look at the map, it seems longer. That's a long trip. They got to deal with customs on top of it. Later game in the day yesterday. Now, this is the 9:40 start, but it is going to be the first game down there in Arizona. Things can certainly be tricky. And we've got ourselves Henry and Paxton. Henry certainly maybe the weak link here early in the season. I hope he doesn't make me the biggest dink. He's 5.55 ERA. He's 1-1 on the season. And Paxton, Jose, 2.61 ERA, 2-0 on the season. Chase Field, 90 degrees, slight wind. I would imagine they probably have they got the thing closed. You think? Is the dome closed?
How's the weather? I didn't look. I could probably Google it. Oh, then it's definitely closed. Yeah, there's no way.
If it was 90 and they said the roof was going to be open, I'd be selling my tickets.
Yeah, that'd be hilarious. Let me tell you right now, which is hilarious. There's a roof hotline you can call. Actually, it's open for the whole series.
Really?
Yeah, I'm looking at it now on MLB.com. Open for the whole series.
Well, the Diamondbacks are coming back from 2 road series in a row, the St. Louis Cardinals and speaking of Seattle, those Seattle Mariners. On the other side of things, the LA Dodgers, now their 3rd straight road series, right? They had the Nats. They had Toronto. They did lose to Toronto yesterday, but they busted them up 12-2 and 4-2 prior to that. What do you think about this one, Jose? You can see it on the screen. We are aligned. You tell me why you like it. I'll tell you why I like it, and then we'll see if everybody else can agree with us in the chat. How about that?
Well, Troy's already told us that the Dodgers are the sharp trap here today.
Oh,
so we're fucked apparently, Mikey. That by the way, that's my favorite thing to do when he puts like sharp trap or something like that. I was like, oh well, we're fucked. So Troy's already told us we've lost our bet. We're done. It's over. And I think I've done that like 3 times, and I'm 1-2 thus far. But we'll see. I don't have obviously the exact numbers there, and I'm just bullshitting. But yeah, I'm on the Diamondbacks here. I didn't, hand up, Mikey. I did not factor cross-country travel into my cap. I did not. But you're right. Customs going to Canada, again, Toronto to Arizona, tough travel. But I'll say that typically the starting pitcher leaves a day early for the next game. So maybe Paxton's already been there. So maybe it won't affect him as much, but it won't affect the hitters. And guess what? Even if it doesn't affect Paxton, Arizona this year, first best hitting team against lefties, 139 weighted runs created plus. In the last 2 weeks, they're third, 167 weighted runs created plus. They kill lefties. You mentioned that line movement, Mikey. I'll take the bait here. And Troy, I hope you let us win this bet one time. So easy Diamondbacks money line spot for me, and I'll keep riding, and hopefully I don't get caught in the sharp trap.
Well, Troy and I have battled when it comes to the sharp trap, and a couple of times I've been able to dodge it, and a few times I've fallen into it. So it will be interesting to see. That's certainly not. I don't like to hear that when it comes to those numbers because I'm a believer. I like the way Troy's tracking line movement and the way he's got the numbers and the analytics now in his second season with it to show why it makes sense. But again, you look at the sheer X's and O's. Let's go to Jimmy's and Joe's. Nobody's hit this Tommy Henry guy out there. I think the only guy that's seen him is Teoscar Hernandez, 2 at-bats. He had no success against this guy, Tommy Henry. So, yeah, the lefty factor to me is big. We see the lefties on the bump. Sometimes those are lower scoring games as well. And those lefty. I remember last year it was hitting at over an 80% clip. Then on the other side of things, just more confidence. You got more experience with the Arizona Diamondbacks out there against James Paxton. You know, Ketel Marte, Christian Walker, kind of the 3 and 4 hitters. Those are the guys you want to have a little more experience against them. But hey, that's okay. I mean, they're going to start off. Blaze Alexander, the designated hitter, is going to pop off in the 1 spot. Then there's Gurriel in the 2 hole, then Ketel, then Christian, Eugenio Suarez. There's a lot of experience. Randall Greichek has experience against these guys as well.
And isn't McElvey's stacks play of the day? Isn't this in the spot Gurriel? I believe it was.
This is. He's got the over 1.5 hits, if I'm not mistaken, on our guy Lourdes to get the job done. So,
so shout out to you, Justin. Yeah, but go ahead. Apologies.
I like it. I'm in it. I think this is a great spot here. You know, we look at this thing. Favorites or small dogs off a loss as a dog or a small favorite are 2 and 22. That is the LA Dodgers, and they're getting busted up by almost 4 runs a game out there when they're facing a lefty starter and a total over a 10. You lost as a small dog. You're in a situation where you're in that spot against a lefty and a total over 10. You're 2 and 22 in those spots out there. I'm going to go with this Arizona Diamondbacks. Last night, before I even looked at any of those trends, I just said just the sheer fact of the travel is enough for me to want to fade away on them Dodgers, but they're going to pull it back. It's just a strange number out there right now. We can get this Arizona Diamondbacks team at plus 114. Everybody's on the Dodgers, and we're sitting there with a steal, Jose. I'm going to take it. I'm going to run with it. I'm not going to look back, my guy. Let's look at this last game on the card. Still out there in the West Coast. This time we're going to go out to San Diego. The Fathers hosting the Reds. Cincinnati opens up at this thing. 42% of the bets, but 53% of the cash on the Reds. And the line has moved from minus 102 to minus 104. Still a slight dog, I guess, in that case, but action coming in on the Reds and the book showing concern. Jose Bouquet, take it away. Tell us about this 9:40 game. Waldron, Lodolo, the floor is yours, my friend. Tell us about how you're getting paid.
Yeah, I mean, you said it yourself. The books are concerned about that Reds money, and you know me, Mikey, big money better here. That's my money. A part of it is I'm on the Reds here. Mike, are you on the Reds again? Are we alive again here, Mikey? It's hilarious. I don't text. I texted Mikey my bets, but I don't know Mikey's bets, which is hilarious. I didn't know that we were just aligning all this shit. Here's the thing. Waldron, in a spot, I didn't think the knuckleball would work in Colorado, and he threw 6 innings, 4 hits, 1 earned run there. I was shocked. Do it fucking again. I challenge you to do it again, Waldron. The market's a little scared of that Reds money. Do it again. I like Lodolo here. Obviously, I trust him as a pitcher if I'm going to back him here. Now, last year, the Padres were really good against lefties. This year, full season, 90th weighted runs created plus. Last 2 weeks, they are 26-69 weighted runs created plus here. So, Reds here for me. Waldron, you in the knuckleball, do it again to me. Prove it to me. You could have 2 back-to-back amazing starts.
Yeah, I mean, what I like about this one here is, just look at most recent opponent, and the lack of success. Now the Phillies starting pitchers, and shout out to Dabby Cab showing earlier today on the sesh. The starting pitching lineup for the Phillies is nasty right now, man. They're just sub 3 ERAs. I think 3 is the worst, and everybody else is hovering around a 1.5.
Well, again, Mikey, I told you, who my World Series picks is this year.
Yeah.
You know who it is.
I'm gonna need you to stop saying that. Just from the Phillies heart that I have here. We saw what happened with that Rangers shot last year. So no early proclamations on my team.
Well, like I said, I've told you I'm on that bandwagon with you. So,
but I like it. I do. Of course, I like to hear it, Jose. I want to hear about these Phillies and how great they are. But I just looked at this one here against the Phillies specifically, common opponents out there. The Reds showed more success than the Padres did here. I'm just not for the last season and a half. I haven't been on the bandwagon with what's going on from this hitting camp out there. I remember Sharpie said last year they had multiple hitting coaches in that San Diego situation out there. And it was like, there was just a message that the sound, the voice was getting distorted. They couldn't tell which way was up or down. Bogarts, Profar, Machado, there's a lot Tatis. There's a lot of guys that just aren't finding the productivity. And when I looked at the lineup here, it did show like Fraley's one of those guys that should get to him. Stevenson should have a day as well. Of course, there's obviously Johnny India is always applicable. Ellie De La Cruz has gotten things moving again. And I think it's just this is a bad timing spot. It's more of a scheduling play for me on the Reds than it is a play and a play against the Padres in that case. But Jose, I just realized too, you text me on it and somebody in the chat had mentioned it. I'm neglecting it. I'm going to bring it back up there. The Pirates and the A's was another game that you wanted to talk about there. And shame on me. We have 73% of the bets, 66% of the cash on the Pirates. The line's gone from minus 132 to minus 122. The road favorite. Lots of cash coming in, and they are making it more attractive to bet. The total is on the move downward, if anything, here. Well, I guess it's kind of frozen. 79% of the bets, 85% of the cash on the over 7.5. Hasn't moved. We have Boyle and we have Falter at the Oakland Coliseum. Probably expected fan attendance tonight is about 237 people, Jose. Will that make a difference in the way these guys come out to the game and attack this card tonight?
Why are the Pirates favored here? This is just the same spot again with the Marlins. Like why are they favored here? This team sucks. This team is horrible. And guess what? The A's might not be all that bad. They're a decent ball club. They've got a lights out closer, obviously. And they're 12-17. The Pittsburgh Pirates, shockingly enough, are 4-15, but 3-7 their last 10. And this A's team feels just a better ball club, just straight up. Bailey Falter has, pitched well. Last start, 7 innings, 3 hits, 1 earned run against Milwaukee. They notoriously cannot hit lefties, though. 5 innings, 4 hits, 2 earned runs at the New York Mets. And by the way, that Milwaukee's lefties thing is definitely from last year. So I just went to go look, and they're actually 27th this year. So at least they're bad this year as well. The Mets, they pitched well against the Phillies in a revenge start. He's pitched well against the Orioles. I just don't think he's this guy. Keep proving it to me, Bailey Falter. And Joe Boyle, I'm a little sold on him. I think he can be a back pitcher here. I don't think he's that bad. It's disgusting. I just looked at his birthday. He's a 99 birthday, so that hurts my feelings. But he had a bad start against Cleveland, but he's pitched well against the Nationals in Detroit. He got crushed against the Red Sox, too, in his first start. But first start, majors, I'd be worried, too. So I like the A's here. You mentioned the market. All the money's on the Pirates. The line shifted towards the A's. That makes me feel a lot better. So I'll definitely take the A's here. No problem.
Hearing you guys be 99ers just makes me so optimistic for the future. The future is bright with you guys on deck. So it's exciting to see and hear that. However, Jose, here's a little something for you. I know that you dial in with me on these things here. Favorites in the first game of a series if it's an interleague series. Team won outright or lost the previous game by 1. Lost by 1, won outright. First game of a series, interleague series, 22-0. 22-0. 3 teams fall into the criteria tonight. The Pirates, the Braves, and the Phillies. Jose, if I was going to fade any one of those 3 teams, it would be the Pirates.
I challenge the Pirates.
I am not a Pirates fan. I might have made some cash on him. I know I took an L on him this weekend, but 22-0. Make a note of that one. The favorites in the first game of an interleague series, if they won or lost by 1 run. So basically a tight game that they won or just didn't get beat up, right? They come out that next series and they are firing. The Pirates, the Braves, and the Phillies fall under that criteria tonight, Jose. Interesting to see how it battles out, but I'm excited about that one. I kind of think I might tell you on that A spot, despite knowing that first game of a series situation. I'm intrigued.
Yeah, I mean, that market, like I said, it screams A's for me, making it more appealing with all those bets. We'll see how much that goes. But it's funny. Kelsey, I'm a 97 birthday. 97. Mikey, make you feel. What were you doing 97, Mikey?
I don't know, shooting up heroin under a bridge in the fucking.
Fair. We knew it. Show us those arms, Mikey. Show us right here. We need to see it.
No, I can't. Are you kidding me? I can't even watch somebody take a shot, let alone shoot myself. I couldn't imagine if I. Thank goodness I don't have to, because I couldn't imagine having to put any needle to arm out there. I have a tough time taking a Band-Aid off. I couldn't imagine putting on, injecting myself with the. No, 97. I think I was just starting college in 97. So 98 was college. So
where'd you go? Did you go to Penn State?
No. Soon I grew up in New York, so I'm a New York guy, born and raised here, Western New York, and I moved down to Philly when I turned
Endicott.
22.
Is that a New York school?
Endicott?
Yeah, that was my
guess.
No,
it's not a New York. It's not a New York school, but it is a city in New York, or a town, I guess I should say, in New York. So you're close. Okay. But Jonathan Manson says, I was drooling over Monica Lewinsky. I think I probably was too around that time, Jonathan. Probably Carmen Electra. She was definitely, when you're the young lad, you got the poster on the wall. Carmen Electra was one of the posters. So, that's a little bit about. I don't even know if you know who that is, Jose Bouquet.
No, not off the top of my head. I don't. I know she's obviously a blonde-haired woman, but I couldn't tell you what she's in.
Well, I'm going to give you a homework assignment.
Okay.
Next week. At least look her up. Come back and give us a little rating. Until then, though, Jose, tell them where they can find you. Tell them what's going on. We got to get moving with the rest of the NHL and the NBA. As always, it's great to have you here, my guy. What's on deck for Jose Bouquet this week here? Big week.
No wonder I remembered that name. Chris Mack saying that was Dennis Rodman's girlfriend. I just watched The Last Dance again recently, so that's why the name was so fresh in my head. Shout out to her. Was she also Basic Instinct? Was that her? Was she the lady in Basic Instinct?
No, that was.
See, I'm dating myself here again.
That's a generation before that.
But the point of all this was say it's nice to see everyone in the chat. Follow me on Twitter, obviously, at Jose Bouquet. We'll be back here. Course with Pedro. I was right there with you with the fucking Predators last night. Oh my god. I'm sure you saw Pete's birthday pic video, right? To Nutflush?
No. I'm still waiting for my birthday video from last year from Pete. So
well, yeah, good luck. You're not good luck,
So I don't it's a sore spot for me. It's a sensitive issue. So anytime he's posting birthday pics, I just check out. I'm checked out now. He left behind.
I get it. Well, he did a whole video, and you can see his full body to the whole video, walk and talk kind of thing. It was beautiful, and his birthday play to Nutflush was Nashville -1. So I took the money line. I got -120. Of course, all those shit happens. The money line jumps to -150. I'm right there with you, Mikey. 3-1. I'm like, great, we won. We're feeling great. And then I check back because I see people talking about Vancouver tying it. I was like, what the fuck is going on here? So, Yeah, I'm right there with you, Mikey. But no, I'm sorry for filibustering all this bullshit. But follow me on Twitter. We'll be back here tomorrow. It's going to be a lot of fun. Mikey, good luck with the playoffs. And don't forget to bet Jovic over 5.5 rebounds. Or I'm going to tell Matt that you've bet it, and we're all riding together here.
I am writing it down, and I will ride it as soon as the show is over. That game will pop off at 7:30, Jose. And great job, man. It's so exciting to see you having success early in the season. I like a successful Jose Bouquet. I prefer my Jose Bouquet to be successful, not
Mikey, you're the one that cursed me last year, Mikey. I poked my head out of the ditch, and then you drop kicked me right back down there, Mikey. So as long as you don't give me any very catchy nicknames, I might be good this year.
Fair enough, Jose. I wish you lots of success. Enjoy the night tonight. Get that cash out. We're lined up, my guy. Let's both cash.
Yeah, we fucking need it, Mikey. We both need it, Mikey. We're together right here tonight, me and you.
I look forward to texting and successfully capping off the night. So, yeah, coin says Florida, Tampa Bay. Puck drops in 15 minutes, you guys. We'll use that segue to move right into the NHL. And let's talk about this here. Little different cap here when it comes to the playoffs, right? Now we're kind of digging in. How do we expect these series to go? Hopefully you guys have been, at least hearing what I have to say about these series, because we destroyed the Tampa Bay game the other night. Destroyed it. I know a lot of people were like, oh, Tampa, Florida's going to shut this series down. No, it was not a spot there. There was an over and under valuation process that went into Sam Bennett and the injury factor for the Florida Panthers. We also talked about Bobrovsky and the moment that he stole the series. You could argue it was early in the series or not, but backbreaker when you're sitting there trying to split the games in Florida. You're trying to kind of regain home ice advantage. There's a spinning backhand block followed up with an overtime loss in that Tampa Bay team. They needed that last game just for that gentleman's sweep situation here. This is a Florida Panthers spot. The question is, how do you want to attack this Florida Panthers team right now? That's the issue that I came across when I was looking at this thing. I'll tell you this right now. I dropped them in the chat. Those were my parlays that are in the chat. The first parlay I've got is the Florida Panthers, the Atlanta Braves, and the Philadelphia Phillies. Now, I just told you about that 22-0 first game of the series interleague situation. The Atlanta Braves and the Philadelphia Phillies, juicier teams, minus 160s. You still play them a -1 if you want. I decided for me, this was either going to be a spot. I've been stepping up this NHL playoff action. We've just been making too much money not to. So, I stepped up on last night and yesterday, the Edmonton spot. I mean, Jesus. But anyhow, let's not talk about the 1-0 plus 500 call on that Edmonton Oilers game. Everybody loved that over. That aside, I looked at Florida Panthers -1. Problem with the -1 is it's -128. And if it goes to overtime, I lose. I don't want to sweat that shit out. Then we look at the other side of things, and I thought, well, maybe the -1.5. Of the two teams that should go down here, I think this could very well be a battle, a 1-1, 2-2, even a 3-3 type of game rolling into that end of the third period. And maybe overtime does become a play again. This is Tampa team that does have Stamkos. Sergachev has come back into the fold here on defense. Things are trying to pick back up, but it's back on Florida's ice now. I think the Eastern Conference is where the cup gets out of this year. I believe this is where they want the Eastern Conference teams to come in with some rest, and I think this is the Florida Panthers situation. I didn't want to do the -1. I don't want to do the regulation spots. What I decided to do, as I mentioned to you before, I've been stepping up my playoff spots here. I did the parlay, Florida, Atlanta, and the Phillies. That's a plus 315 parlay. It's already in the chat. 2 baseball games, Intersport there with the Florida Panthers. No -1s. Just give me the win. Then I same game parlayed it because there is a boost available across just about all the legal books tonight, which I was kind of surprised to see. NHL same game parlay opportunity. I've got the Florida Panthers. I took Steve Stamkos over 3.5 shots on goal. Why? Because he's Steve Stamkos. I mean, next to Kucherov, I think the pecking order in Tampa used to go Stamkos and then Kucherov. It's probably flip-flop now. And, you look at Kucherov, he's another triple-digit assist type of guy. So he's passing that puck around. And who's he passing it to? Steve Stamkos. Over 3.5 shots. By the way, individually, over 3.5 shots is plus 125. So I've got the Florida Panthers. Steve Stamkos over 3.5 shots. And then I went to SpongeBob. I got Bobrovsky over 25.5 saves. You look at that last game, they had 33 or 34 shots on goal that Tampa Bay team did. They're going to have to shoot even more, not less, to get out there and figure out a way to win. The earlier parts of the series, they struggled because they weren't shooting. They found success in shooting, and now this being a situation where it's do or die, they're going to have to go out there and put a lot of pucks on net, and of course it's Bobrovsky, so I expect him to be there to stand on his head. Over 25.5 saves is a plus 735. 3-leg parlay over there. That's a DraftKings number for you guys, so take a peek, check it out. And Kelly D says Stamkos has had a goal in all 4 games. Yeah. Excuse me. I looked at his point. This one just came out with better odds for me because, from a shots on goal perspective, I didn't want to have this parlay tied to somebody having a goal or a point. Like, if I was Florida, I would shut that guy down. I would at least key up on him, double up, and if he's going to get shots, I'd have him taking shots from poor perimeter or poor risk situations or poor result situations out there. So, in any event, that's how I attacked that game. And at 9:30, we've got the Dallas Stars and the Vegas Golden Knights. You look at this one here. I was kind of surprised to see that Dallas. I guess this series has surprised me all around. I didn't expect Vegas to go in there and snatch 2 victories. I know I was breaking stones there talking about how mad they are and how they wanted their revenge. And everybody said they were going to get revenge. I didn't realize it was going to come in Vegas that first game, but that was desperation city right there. This Dallas team, and what happened? I said it before. This Dallas team's just happy to go to overtime. Like, look, I like what's going on with Wyatt Johnson. I think there's some good guys out there on that team to play hockey. I just think the difference with this Vegas Golden Knights team that you see from years past is the increase in offensive firepower and defensive components out there. They're getting healthy. They brought in a ton of dudes, including Jack Eichel, who's been nothing but fantastic for him out there. He is the number 2 overall draft pick behind Connor McDavid. He was sidelined with injuries in Buffalo. He rolls into Vegas now. He's a great addition. He's a first-line guy. He's a top ice minutes guy. He's a top forward on that team. Where they go, he goes. And if you look at these guys in terms of how the scoring is projected right now, Marchessault, Eichel, plus 190 spots to get the first goals. Wyatt Johnston's probably the guy on Dallas that's most alive to get a goal. He's priced a plus 210 out there. So then you look at Rope, Sagan, Pavelski, like everybody else has dropped below it. I think this is that bounce back spot for Vegas. They probably got a little too ahead of themselves. And that was a spot where we know that the Stars had to win. They couldn't be down. The series is over if they go down 3-0 with that 4th game on home ice. Unfortunately, this will be a series that has to go back to Dallas to clinch things up. It could be a series that ends up going 6, but in tonight's game, I like the Golden Knights to bounce back in this spot. Got a number for you guys as well when it comes down to the trends out there. It's the physical factor. We've seen a lot of these teams, when they're down, they just start hitting, and then they start to soften that opponent up. And when you hit your opponent 25% or more times that previous game, you're 11-4 that next game out. 11-4 this postseason for teams that have out-physically dominated their opponent that previous game. It's alive tomorrow as well. That'll be a little sneak peeker for you, but I'm on the Vegas Golden Knights here. No reason to panic. They comfortably handled those 2 games in Dallas. So they lose that first one here. They probably were going to split these 2 anyways. This is going to be a spot where Vegas goes up 3-1. It's plus money. That's how we're going to attack this NHL game here, the second of the night. Should be a lot of fun to watch. Londo says the fake trend is on the Kings. Look, man, he did okay yesterday, didn't he? I don't know. I don't follow the guy. I know my buddies talk about him all the time, and I'm okay with that. Guy can't lose them all. Maybe he can. I don't know. I don't really care. All I know is the Vegas Golden Knights are in the position to go out there and get it done. Phil the Kill says that Saturday night loss by the Knights literally haunted my dreams. They tried to outspeed the Stars for half that game. No idea what they were thinking with that game plan. Yeah, then they had to pivot to hit them hard, hit them often, hit them frequently, make them hurt, and grind them down into this game here. And this is where I think they get grinded down. Kelly V says, Vegas, the champs, no respect, like it. Mike, Dallas struggle on offense versus Vegas. Josh Loward 34 says, can I mention the halftime people at TBS and TNT for hockey are horrid? And Kelsey says, Mikey, I'm leaning the Panthers and the Knights. All right, Kelsey, let's get that cash. let's get that cash, girl, and let's go into the NBA and talk about these games on deck tonight. I opened this one up a little different. You guys can get creative with how you want to come to the table as well, but I'll tell you who the player props and spots that I'm attacking, and then you guys can figure out if you want a same game parlay them or not, how you want to attack it. But I did take some sides, some totals, and some player props out there. And I saw the numbers. I see the data with this Miami Heat team. I get it. Fully get it. Double digits. It's a bad spot. At the end of the day, to me, it's just more of, 10.5 indicative of it potentially being a blowout. Thing is, we got 63% of the bets and 63% of the cash on the Celtics. The line hasn't moved all day. Minus 10.5. Lots of guys I respect on that first half. I get it. The line opened at 202.5. It's moved up to 205.5. 76% of the bets and 94% of the cash on the over. That's moved 3 points. That would kind of be the direction you want to see that movement go. I just don't know about the side in this game. To me, it just feels like there's something going on. Now, teams in game 4 or later that are favored at minus 9.5 or more, the last game, are 12-0-1 against the spread. If they're off a spread win or a loss by less than 7 points. So, this is a spot, of course, 12-0-1, and they're winning these games by an average of 9 against the spread. That means this should be a blowout. And that's what led me to my play in this game here. I went to Tatum, and I took Tatum's under 26.5 points. I'm not a big Tatum guy. This guy just kind of doesn't, I don't know. He's selective when he wants to play, when he's in and when he's out. I do expect he will draw double team action out there. They're going to have to try to stop this guy and try to kind of hold him into a lane out there. But if this does get to that 20-point blowout, they're not playing this dude for 40 minutes this game. And that's the spot for me to go out there and attack. It was minus 110 spot for me earlier today. Let me just double check what's going on. Let me just check this out here. So it's a little weird spot for me because there will be hockey in play, and it's not going to be anything I'm overly invested in when it comes to the NBA on this side of things now. But for this game particularly, there's some juicy 26.5s out there. Now we're 25.5s at minus 105. I'll still give the 25.5 out there. I'm okay with that. And we'll take it at minus 105. I mean, that's the current number. That's the best. Let me just double check one more spot. Let me double check. Yep. All right. So be it. So be it. That's how we're going to play out this first game. Maybe it's a little chicken shit. Maybe I don't want to go out there and attack it. I'll tell you what I did want to. Oh, there we go. MGM under 26.5, minus 105. Thank you. Thank you, my guy. That's an important deal. I was taking it anyways. But that 1 point difference is so crucial. So crucial. And seeing the market move in that direction and still have MGM out there to give it to us at 26.5. So huge out there. Nice job. Shout out to Untouchable Jay, my guy. Big Show says, if the Celtics don't hit the try tonight, I'm taking Nate's meds. or he's taking, I like it. We got a wrench bet. If the Celtics don't hit the trifecta tonight, Big Show's going to take Nate's wrench. I like that play out there. That's going to give us a little added enthusiasm for the spot tonight. I've heard a lot of guys talking about the first half. All right, I get it. I don't know. I kind of have a sneaky suspicion that the Heat can find a way to win this game again, but I don't want to put my money on it. I certainly am not advocating you guys put your money on it. I will look for a live show or a live spot opportunity. If I can get 17s early in the thing there, I will. Nasty Nate says, Michael, pay cash for that to happen. He's going to hate. It's going to be a fun game to watch and certainly think about what Nasty Nate will do without a wrench. He won't be blue. We'll have to see if he's green or not. Here's the question. If you take his wrench away, do you think he's green or do you think he's got the black lettering out there? Is he a member or is he just a moderator? That's the question I want to know, Big Show picks. I don't know. Jason Mayer says, it's the big show. Let's go out there. Let's talk about this 8:30 game. The OKC Thunder, the New Orleans Pelicanos, and we got another situation with a line that really hasn't moved too much. 4.5s have moved to 5. 70% of the bets, 83% of the cash on the OKC Thunder. Then we look at the total. It started at 205. It's moved up to 208.5. 86% of the bets and 88% of the cash on the over in this game. And nice 2-0 Nats on CJ Abrams bomb. Cash him out, baby. I hope you guys have been paying attention. There we go. Josh Lower has been. I fucking told you guys. 2-run situation. Take the road team. Who gives a shit? Get your plus money and then move on out of there. Let's get that cash. Yeah. Yeah. Nasty Nate says, Mike M., I'm the first ever gold member on the channel. When my membership comes out my account every month. Oh, it's great, man. So much fun to have met you guys, and now we can all kumbaya together here. But let's kumbaya on this OKC and New Orleans Pelicans game. OKC's got him in a bad spot. Right, broke this series down like a pound. We talked about that first game, the challenge. They needed that little slap in the face. They gave him that little. Remember, we talked about just whack him a few times, wake him up. They came out there. They won that game 94-92. They go out 124-92, now 106-85 in New Orleans. New Orleans so great at home. Not without Zion. They're in trouble. They are done. I think this series is over, out of here. Finito. The young talent that's out there with this OKC Thunder team makes it a ton of fun to watch. Shea has been a monster. I mean, the guy's just does great. He's a team player. The team does respond when he's in there and they're just a young team that's having fun. They needed to get that success in that first game. They had to come back to show that the lights weren't too bright. And they are too bright for this New Orleans Pelicans team. No Zion, no bueno. And you look at the rest of these guys here. There's another spot that I jumped in on as well. I took the Ingram under 21.5 points. So these are separate bets. I'm jumping in on the OKC Thunder. I'm rolling with Ingram under 21.5 points. First of all, they're D'ing up on this guy like crazy. He is the kind of point or the impact player now with the Zion factor out there. And I believe he's hurt. I think there's this nagging injury thing going on here. Now, road teams that are in a series 3-0 have a tremendous advantage as they roll into this fourth game. And I think OKC goes out there and gets the job done. Line shop it. I do believe this number is going to move as we get a little closer. Nathan Cerna says he took the Thunder -3.5. But as I looked at this one here, I just thought this is just too much OKC opportunity. It's good for the league to have OKC back in there. Young talent, exciting team. You know what's going on out there. McCollum and Ingram, just not enough to go pull the sled themselves out there. You got Giddey. I looked at the Giddey under point spot as well. I thought his points at 12.5 earlier today was a smidge too high out there. But for me, you'll see the situation there. I like this OKC team to get things done. I debated the first half. If I was going to whack away at a first half, I think it would be this game. I just didn't get there. I'm just trying to keep the NBA clean here. I changed gears a little bit to some player props just because we had such a tremendous run on those first half unders. And then things kind of flip-flopped out there. In fact, let me just check one more thing. I want to say did I take this game under? Does anybody know if I took this game under? Let me look. I did take this game under. All right, fuck it. Madden that under as well. Might as well. We're here. I bet it. You guys, no secrets amongst friends. Under 208.5 for me in this game. Under 208.5 at -110. So that is an ad out there. I guess I do have some extra plays out there. So I do have OKC -4.5. I've got the under 208.5. And I've got the Ingram under 21.5 points. So a little try spot there. That's why I was comfortable with just messing with the Tatum prop in that Boston game, because I knew the game I wanted to go out there and attack was this OKC Thunder spot. The last game of the night, this Lakers situation, and what a situation it is right now. Going back into Denver, we've got 45% of the bets and 68% of the cash on the Lake Show. The Lake Show have gone from 7.5 to 6.5 point favorites right now to 17.5. 85% of the bets and 92% of the cash are on the over. Yet it's dropped a half of a point. So we've got reverse line movement on the total. I will keep my eyes on how my NBA night goes, just so you guys are aware. If I go out here and I'm looking at a 5-0 through the NBA here, 4-0 through the NBA to start this thing off, I will add these unders, first half under and full game under in this spot. Reason being is I think they got to shut down this Nuggets team if they're going to have any chance to be alive. I grabbed the 7 earlier today for this LA Lakers team. And it's nothing more to me than just an assessment of where the series goes right now. At the end of the day, do I think the Lakers are alive to win the game? Maybe. I heard a crazy stat today, and I forgot where I heard it, but shout out to whoever that was. The Lakers have led this series 140 of 190 total minutes in the series. That's crazy. They just haven't been able to get the job done. but they're able to come out there and at least manage, like, first half spreads have been a nice little cover for us out there. You know, you look at the series, 2-1, right? The last 3 games, no, 2-2 now in terms of the spread. 6.5s and 7s have been kind of that sweet spot. The Lakers did have the -1.5 and got torched that first game back home before they moved it to 3.5. This is that range that they can comfortably go out there and at least cover the spread. I don't know about winning outright. I might look for a live bet. By the way, we did cash a nice one last week there, but the risk reward, it's plus 210. 210 to me is just a tricky little spot to be involved with there. Do I like the number? Yeah, but I would almost lay like 4 the other way versus dropping a plus 210. I try to get that to be 300 plus. The Lakers win. It's not going to be by 1 point to me. It's going to be by 7 or 8 because the Denver Nuggets shut down and get ready for the next game. So just kind of makes sense on how we've seen these playoffs kind of go around things here. But at the end of the day, I'm on the Lakers. I got him at +7. It's +6.5 now. 6.5 will be the official show play. I just thought that was an impressive stat there. 140 of 190 minutes of total game time have been led by the LA Lakers. And, you know, you want to look at some other X's and O's behind it. You know, you're going to see a lot of trends that point to this series being over. You know, there's no way in this case here. The tricky factor for me, though, is the double-digit spot. We talked about double-digit teams, right? Double-digit teams in a situation where they're a favorite on the road in a clinching or in a advancement situation have just been so dominant. That is that spot with the Boston Celtics. This number being 7 and coming down to 6.5 is where I think they're concerned. The Lakers are that live dog in this spot. So go ahead and sprinkle that money line if you want. I'm going to close up my book with the 6.5 out there. And that's how we're going to get paid, you guys. I'll give you guys the full breakdown again. The Yankees for me, Jose's on the Yankees. The Nats for me, Jose's on the Nats. I already cashed that bet out. So we'll track it for show purposes. But 2-0 lead is all you need on them road teams. I told you guys that before. Road teams, 25% of the time, the road team goes up by 2 and then loses the game. Only 15% of the time does that happen to the home team. Take that plus money and go get that cash. Jose and I both are on the Nats. I've got Minnesota in the under 8.5 plus 170. Sounds like Troy Torrance, my guy, is also on there looking to get that cash with us. Jose and I are both on Arizona, and Jose and I are both on Cincinnati. It scares me that I have so much alignment with Jose right now. Jose did add the plus 108 out there for the Oakland A's, and then I added the Florida Panthers, the Atlanta Braves, and the Philadelphia Phillies parlay at plus 315. I've got the same game parlay. Use the boost out there. There are just about every single book trying to draw action in here. When you get a juicy favorite in a closing spot, that's when the books will start to put these same game parlays out there. The Florida Panthers, Stamkos over 3.5 shots on goal, and Bobrovsky over 25.5 saves is plus 735. I moved on the Vegas Golden Knights plus 105. They're just a physical challenge for this Dallas team. They're in a nice 11-4 spot. I've got Jason Tatum under 26.5 points, minus 105. OKC minus 4.5. Ingram under 21.5 points and under 208.5 in that OKC game. And then the Lakers plus 6.5. That's the way we're going to get paid today, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen. Hit that thumbs up button if you haven't done so already. Appreciate you guys coming in on the regular, bringing so much value to the conversation, stats, analysis, angles, trends, player updates. You guys are what makes this so much fun. Appreciate everybody. Kelsey, Kelly, V, Lando, Loopy. Appreciate Loopy being out there. Untouchable. Jay, Sancho, Mike. Man, all you guys rock and roll. Big Show picks. Robert, Franklin, Voodoo, Ranger, Ebert, Jason Mayer, Nathan Cerna. Of course, my guy, Nasty Nate out there rooting on his trifecta tonight. It's going to be a lot of fun. Josh Lower Coin. You guys make this thing great. I'm appreciative of the opportunity to hang out with you guys and share some of my analysis and how we're trying to get to the bank. We'll be back again doing it tomorrow. Going to see you guys here 6 p.m. Eastern. Last call. Go out there. Follow Pub Sports Radio on YouTube. Subscribe to the channel and turn your notifications on every time we put a live stream out there. Any kind of shows, you will be in the know. And you don't want to miss this cash. This community is so sharp and getting sharper on the daily, you guys. Love and respect. See everybody again tomorrow. Stay poppin', baby.